Hey everybody, Pastor Kyle here. Welcome to City Church Online. One of our goals for 2017 is to deliver exclusive video content to you that's going to encourage you in your day-to-day life. And for our very first one, we have special guest here, Daniel Gil from American Ninja Warrior. He's already a legend on the show. Last year, he was one of only 3 people to make it to stage 3. You're going to go all the way. 2 people, that's right. You're going to go all the way this year. I am a big fan of the show, but more particularly, I'm a big fan of this guy. And he and his management team squeezed in just a couple of minutes to hang out with us today. So Daniel, thank you for that.
Absolutely.
And I thought, what could I do with Daniel Gil where I might possibly win against him? There are very few activities where I could, but I thought maybe I could beat him in bowling. So I'm going to challenge Daniel Gil to a game of bowling. But before I do, there's another little City Church tradition that we have. When people come to the church for the first time, we give them a little cup. Say thanks for coming. So Daniel, thanks for coming, and thanks for being with us. And let's go bowl. How's that sound? Let's do it. Let's do it, man. All right, here we go. All right, Daniel, so tell us the one piece of your story that maybe some people don't know. It's hard to see it when looking at your shirt and not knowing, but how did you become a Christian?
Man, all right, Kyle. Well, I grew up from a family of 5 out in Houston, Texas, where it's hot all year round. Both my parents, who were Christians but away from the Lord at the time. My mom had grown up in church and had gotten hurt. When she was young in life, she walked away from the church and said, God, I'm going to walk out my faith with you, but I'm going to do it alone. But after child number 3 was born and she was working a full-time job, she was like, God, I can't do this by myself. I'm going from this point forward, I'm going to raise not only these 3 kids, but all the other kids I'm going to put them in church. I'm going to raise them up in the way that I feel you're calling me to. And so she was like, I want their education to be different and I want their upbringing to be different. And so me and my 5 siblings, from the time we were able to walk, we're just raised in the church, raised in any type of mission work that we could get into. We did like Kingdom Clowns ministry, we did mimes ministry, nursing home ministries, and I just grew up in that environment, in that atmosphere. And so that was the upbringing that I had. Gave my heart to the Lord at a young age. But then as I got older, you get to high school, you get the ups and the downs and the craziness, and it was at that point in my life that I said, God, I know that you have my heart, but from this day forward, I give you my life. Which to me was more personal because it took it from just like a Wednesday and a Sunday and a church time, Christian hat, to God, I'm going to wake up every single day and the first thing out of my mouth is going to be, God, I praise you, I thank you for this day. I have my plans, but Lord, I put them in your hands, and whatever you have for me, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it for the kingdom. And he has taken me on the craziest roller coaster of a journey that I never even knew was imaginable.
That is so cool. And one of the things that I love to talk about is just that whether you grow up in the church or whether you're 25 years old and become a Christian, there has to be that moment where it's no longer mom and dad's faith. This is mine. So I love that you shared about that. So in your everyday life, what role does your faith play today in everything you're doing right now?
Yeah, it's awesome. I believe that faith, especially our personal relationship with Jesus, is so vital to the world around us, because honestly, if you turn on any news station right now, it's broadcasting bad news. Bad news sells, and I believe that we live in a day and an age where God wants to do some incredible things with literally anyone who says yes. So for me, I talked about how I gave my life to the Lord when I was in high school, and from that point on I said, God, I'm going to go to church because I want to build my relationship with you. I want to grow and mature, and if I'm going to call myself a Christian, a Christ follower, I want to live out my faith in a real and tangible way. So after I graduated high school, I went to a 2-year ministry school, got to travel the world, preach the gospel, lead worship, and just see signs, wonders, miracles, and it changed my life. And so while I was at ministry school, I said, God, here are all the gifts that you've put inside of me, my strength, my singing, my dancing, everything that you've given me as a gift and an ability, I'm going to put it back in your hands, and anything that you don't want me to have, take it away. I give it to you right now, and anything that you want me to continue stewarding, you'll put it back in my hands. And so I told him, I said, I would go into full-time ministry right now. I love it so much. I've given my life, my heart to it. And all of a sudden at that point in my life, he pulled me out and set me up in a ninja gym there in Houston, Texas. I lost my job and I was like, God, I believe that you have the best job for me. I'm not going to sit on my hands and say, give it to me. I'll actively pursue, different job opportunities, but I want the place you have for me. All of a sudden a friend's like, hey, I work at this ninja gym. And I was like, what are you even talking about? This was 3.5 years ago. I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, yeah, I work at the only gym in Houston that trains for that show, American Ninja Warrior. And I'd grown up watching it and was like, in the back of my mind, I was like, God, I'd love to do that someday. That's a dream. And then I kind of just like buried it underneath reality and things that people tell us that our life should look like. And all of a sudden, God like positioned me there, and I was like, okay, Lord, well, I told you I would go into full-time ministry, but now you've put me in this position at this job where I'm around people of all different backgrounds, all different beliefs and things like that, but this is gonna be my new ministry field. So when I go to work every day at my gym, or when I'm competing on the course, I'm like, God, this is the place you've called me, here in this area, this environment, to shine for you. And I believe that he is calling people in the business realm, the health industry, the sciences and education, and just flip that switch and turn them on to shine for him, because they have his heart, and it's awesome.
I love that, and I love that you have allowed your job to become your ministry. And it's not, I believe everything we do is ministry. Real quick, I think a lot of people just might be curious, like, are you allowed to like eat ice cream, or like, can you like have a burger, or what are you allowed to eat normal stuff, or no?
Yeah, I mean, you can. It depends on where. Yeah, right. I feel good right now, and so my diet the last 6 months has been healthy. But I have a wife now, I have friends, and we like to have fun and sometimes to eat ice cream and have a burger. But as I get closer to competition season, I tighten it down, I cut it out, and I eat very intentionally. I believe that God gave us the most incredible machines on the face of the planet, and that is our bodies. So right now I'm training intentionally, and I'm putting the food that I want in my body, I'm making it intentional, and I'm having goals in mind, and to reach those goals, I've dialed in my health and my training for it. Yeah.
It's hard, right? So like, like if you go to the airport and you're hungry, you bring something?
I usually have like healthy bars or like trail mix or granola, things like that on me at all times.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. That is awesome. I gotta tell you, I am totally rooting for you. I was watching you when you hit the water last time. I'm like, no. So I believe it. You're gonna make it to the top, and I also know you got a plane to catch and a few other things to do. So, man. Before we head out, I do want to try to give you one chance to beat you at a Granny Bowl. So,
all right.
Are we game for that?
Yeah, we're game.
All right, we're going to see if I can beat Daniel Gil in a Granny Bowl now. All right, let's do it.
All right.
All I have to do is hit one thing.
Give me some obstacles to climb on, please. Oh, man.
Okay, literally, this has been served to me on a gold platter.
All right, I mean, no pressure, no pressure.
I'm just gonna